Oh, that's right, that's right. I had the music going on the radio. I got me going live on Facebook. So we had kind of a little lag here, but I'm here. How you doing this morning? Yes, I'm live on Facebook. Got a really cute picture, if I do say so myself, of Penny and Anne. That's part of our dedication show this weekend. I hope you'll check it out on Facebook. Hope you will sign up to let me do a shout out for you and your sweetie. Yes, that's important. We're going to be sharing the love on Saturday morning right here on WCRS radio. So if you got a favorite song, a blast from the past, if when you hear that song, your heart goes thump, thump, thump. If you are currently in love and want everybody to know that you're in love, or maybe you want to make it a secret, your secret names for each other, I don't care. Let's just have some fun celebrating love on Saturday, Valentine's Day. Which reminds me, you better get on WCRS 1450am.net and sign up for the Valentine's cake, the ice cream cake. Now some people have said, oh my God, Ann, I don't want a big Valentine's cake. Well, this is 7-inch. It's small. It's just for two. That's right. If you want to share it with more, so be it. And the thing I always say is you can always have part of it, put it back in the freezer and freeze it. If I could enter, I'd enter because, that way I'd have ice cream for days. That's right. Unless I let Penny have some, and then I'd have it for 5 minutes. All right. Anyways, sign up for that. We will be giving away that Valentine's ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. It is a heart-shaped red velvet ice cream cake. So cool. But you can't win if you don't enter. And if you want to sign your own self up for discounts futuristically, you certainly can do that. Just put your birth date and say, I love me. That's right. Who do I love? I love me. And I'd love to get a birthday shout out or birthday gift, shall we say, a discount from Dairy Queen on your birthday. So this is just another cool avenue that you have to celebrate. Lord knows we need to celebrate as much as we can, right? That is what we need to do. So let's go ahead and sign up for that. Send me your dedication. You can do that on the new telephone text line, 864-332-9395. If you've got a song you want a little something read, I will read it for you. But here's the deal. I would really appreciate if you'd go ahead and sign up now rather than drive me crazy on Saturday morning trying to accommodate everybody going, oh yeah, that would be good. Oh, I like that. No, do it now. While you're thinking about it, you know what your favorite song is, and I sure hope your sweetie isn't going to change between today and Saturday, right? Anyways, I'm Ann Eller. This is WCRS Radio. Going to go ahead and just do a little double check of the weather for those that need to be moving on out of here this morning. Let's see what the weather is. I was just outside with Penny. It looks like we have some rain coming in. Right now, it is 59 degrees. I don't even know how to read these numbers. They're too high. 59 degrees. Yesterday, it got up over 70 degrees. But it's 59. Feels like 57. And looks like we are going to get up to 70 degrees today. Showers early, then cloudy in the afternoon, high near 70. Chance of rain is 60%. Now, tonight, mostly clear, low of 37. Thursday, we're supposed to have a high of 64, low of 38, partly sunny skies. Friday, high of 61, low of 32, again, partly sunny skies. Saturday is going to be a day of a high of 65, low of 48, and partly sunny skies. Sunday comes in with a high of 55, low of 42, and Rain. Yes. 90% plus of rain. So looks like rain potential for a heavy rainfall, high near 55, chance of rain 90%. Rainfall may reach 1 inch. Ah! All right. And then Sunday night, showers in the evening, then partly cloudy overnight. Chance of rain stays at 60%. However, coming in on Monday, President's Day, looks like we will have a high of 66, low of 40, and the rain should basically be gone. So that's kind of your weather update. Right now, 59 degrees out there, headed for a high of 70 degrees. There you go. Well, the big news, the really, really, really big news is looks like there's been a break in the case on Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie's mother. It was actually rather exciting last night as this thing was coming together. I don't know if you watched any of it or not, but it was rather mesmerizing till we got to the point they stopped a guy that they potentially thought had something to do with it. He was headed towards the border. And he was in there they picked him up for questioning. I've seen several different reports. I'm not sure whether he is still in custody or not. I haven't had a chance to really investigate that as much as I would like to. So if anybody has anything definitive, you can send it to me, 864-332-9355. Call or text. If you want to just call, it turns it into a text, and bam, I know what's going on. They also closed down the airspace at El Paso, said it was going to be closed for 10 days, and then they just reversed it. So we don't really know what's going on, but this case certainly has garnered a lot of interest. And here's what I say this case shows us. That even when we think we're not being watched, even when we think a video recording thing is not working, it can still be working. So we are being watched everywhere we go. That is the thing that I say. And in this case, thank goodness. In some cases, well, I don't know, folks. But you do need to be aware of the fact that it was that Nest video, I guess, that they released showing a man, presumably a man, going to the front door. Very odd if you really look at the video. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because I'm sure you have seen it by now. But he's got the gun stuck in his front, right in his belt, in a holster that's too small for the gun. He's wearing these glove mittens type thing that I don't think he could have actually shot the gun with this thing. If he was really trying to disguise himself, he should have made sure his eyebrows and the mustache that he had was not showing. Lots of things like that. There also was a lot of activity around Annie Guthrie's house and her husband, and the whole little development, I guess, that is there. There was a lot of time spent going around, checking a lot of stuff. Not really sure what that is either. But let's just say, once they posted that video there, people started calling in, and who knows what other tips they have, who knows what other information they have as they're getting ready to go through this. There also was $300 put into that account that was supposed to be the account that the $6 million went into. We're not really sure whether that was who sent that money, why it was sent, but then the ability to trace it was all up for discussion too. So, are we closer to finding Nancy Guthrie? I am sure we are. Do we know exactly where it's at? No. Is everybody in the world being a pundit on this? Yes, that is true. So that's kind of, I guess, where we're at as far as the Nancy Guthrie. I know if I was Savannah Guthrie, I would at least feel that something is happening, and I think that's majorly the way the public feels. We didn't see anything happening, ergo we didn't think anything was happening, but obviously there was a lot happening behind the scenes. So that is a good thing. If you got something to add here, 864-332-9355. That's 864-332-9355. Yesterday I was told my show was a lot about nothing. So you might ought to go back and watch that show. If you didn't see it, you should go back and watch it. But anyways, that was interesting comments. I take all criticism, good and bad. Just go ahead and lay it out here. I'm a radio host. If you just, have a real criticism of the show or something positive about the show, I thrive on positiveness too. Go ahead and let me know. 864-332-9355. 864-332-9355. Please sign up to let me put a dedication out there for you and your sweetie, whoever your sweetie is, and whatever song you like, whatever song you remember. Well, I'm not going to share some of that right now because I'm saving that for Saturday, but send me your favorite song and the shout out, and it would be a good idea to just give me your name, your first name. That's, so-and-so says, Joanne says, I love you, sweetie, and here's our song to George. Okay. And then we'll play the song or something like that. It's just a fun thing to do on Saturday morning, particularly since Saturday is Valentine's Day. Lots of people are going to be out traveling because you also have Monday. As for a lot of people, Monday is a day off. It's not for me. But anyways, a lot of people will be off on Monday. And of course, our states, our city government, our county government will be closed on Friday and then closed on Monday. So kudos to them for the deal that they made. All right, moving on here this morning. What else do we have going on? Oh my goodness. Life is just too crazy. We are constantly being barraged by so much, aren't we? We sure are. So, had a very nice interview with Stephanie Turner yesterday afternoon. I would like to remind you that coming up on Thursday evening at Rock Creek, here we go, yes, at Rock Presbyterian Church, which is at 122 Rock Church off 72 and across the road from Gunnell's Marine. They are going to the Master Gardeners welcome Jenks Farmer, which I thought was just rather funny because that really is his name. I thought it was a pseudonym or something, but he's a Southern horticulturist, humorist, and writer. Through stories and slides of both triumph and spectacular failures, this rebel misfit who turned Southern horticulture on its head is known for his work in both designing and establishing botanical gardens, writing influential books like Garden Disruptors, and his expertise in cremium lilies and other southern bulbs from his pioneering organic nursery on the family's farm in Aiken, South Carolina. So he's going to be talking about getting a meadow is like getting a puppy, debunking trendy myths of modern gardening. But they would like you to come, but they would like you to register. I put this out here because that is tomorrow evening, but you still can go. Email lakelandsmastergardeners@gmail.com. Topic, getting a meadow is like getting a puppy. Lord, that sounds like something I do not want to do. The idea, we talked a little bit about this with Stephanie, and I encourage you to go back and watch the video. It was really a good, spring. It was a beautiful day to do this. It was spring-like, and everybody's attention will be turning to spring and planning and all this kind of stuff. And we talked about a lot of classes coming up, a lot of ways you can get your yard, your area, what you want to plant ready. And of course, we're very blessed to have a Clemson Extension office right over here where the Boys and Girls Club is, and that same complex out Brewer. So register if you'd like to go to us, 7 o'clock Thursday night, Lakeland's Master Gardeners at gmail.com. Getting a meadow is like getting a puppy. Yeah, see, I thought when you did a meadow, you just threw a bunch of seeds out. You know those packets that you get and it says, would make a lovely meadow. And I thought, sometimes I think, I should do that out in the back out there. Then we talked to Stephanie and you find out all the things in having a meadow. So it's doable, but it's not just throw the seeds out like they tell you. Just FYI. Hey, I'm Ann Eller. This is WCRS Radio. So what else do we have going on here? Murdoch's appeal is going before the South Carolina Supreme Court. They're trying to get that overturned. And so that should be, I think, is that today? I think is when that's going to be happening today. They've been talking about this, and it's now finally looks like it is finally going to be there. So that will be pretty exciting about that. This is nearly 3 years after Alex Murdaugh has been disbarred, the disbarred attorney, for murdering his wife and son. South Carolina's highest court is taking up the case, and Fitz News is providing live coverage inside the courtroom. So if you'd like to see more about that, that would be could be something interesting to see. Just never ends, does it? It just never ends. And just think, last week we had Judge Kittredge here with us, and guess who's they show a picture on the bench? Judge Kittredge is one of the judges. So that's pretty fascinating too. So, oh my God, I cannot believe this. I had missed this. Mark Sanford mulls U.S. Senate bid against Lindsey Graham. Oh, come on. He's the one that went AWOL when he was governor, ended up down there in the in South America. Mark Sanford mulls U.S. bid against Lindsey Graham. Wow. That came out yesterday. Mark Sanford, whose failed presidential bid in 2020 made him a pariah with the MAGA wing of the Republican Party, is mulling a U.S. Senate bid against long-serving incumbent Lindsey Graham. According to sources, this is from Fitz News, Sanford's contemplated U.S. Senate bid is being pushed by many of the same forces that backed former Lieutenant Governor Andre Bauer. This just shows we don't have anybody here. Andre Bauer's aborted campaign against Graham last summer. Bauer entered the race last July and promptly exited a little more than a month later. Graham, who has already been endorsed by Donald Trump, is currently being challenged by upstate businessman Mark Lynch and Project 2025 architect Paul Daines in his bid for his fifth six-year term in Washington, D.C. Earlier this week, Sanford supporters conducted a poll which tested his backing among Republican primary voters in the Palmetto State. That survey threw several jabs at incumbent senator, accusing him of using his office to make himself rich and amass a multi-million-dollar fortune. Well, Satan, you better all get in line, because is there anybody up there that is not getting rich? I think that would be the interesting survey to do, don't you? If we're going to conduct a survey, let's see who walks away making $174,000 a year and not a penny more. Let's see who does that. The poll also highlighted Graham's longstanding support for open borders. Yes, and now he's turned around and he is supporting the closed borders and voter registration and talking the talking points of President Trump. Were he to run, Sanford, two-term governor, two-time congressman, would bring statewide name identification and a war chest with him with more than $1 million to campaign against Graham. He also would bring a metric ton of baggage. I guess so. However, would likely to draw a sharp rebuke from the notorious vindictive Trump. Should he decide to run, the race would likely become very personal, as Graham is the godfather to his youngest son, Blake Sanford. Oh, I did not know that. So, what do you say about that? What do you say about that? This is one of those things that could heat up, but would it put us in a good light here in South Carolina? I think not. I think not. So it says the Love Gov is eyeing another political comeback. Oh, my God. All right. That should be an interesting tale. I'd like to, I've interviewed Governor Sanford several times over the years. I think the last time was, yes, when we were at the Republican convention in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yes, I don't think I talked to him since then. That was when he was contemplating something. So, yes, we actually saw him in, where were we? We were just walking around in Cincinnati and ran across him, and I said, you want to talk for a few seconds? And he goes, yeah, sure. Actually, yeah, and we actually got into the a closed off area because we were with Sanford. Sanford had the immediate got into an area where he wasn't president then, but Trump was landing in a helicopter coming to the meeting, and actually got into a closed off area where they said no more. And I had just been talking to Sanford, and Sanford says, come on, Ann. So I actually got to walk in and was in this area. It was pretty cool. I couldn't even take my assistant that was with me. She had to stay on the outside, but I got to go in. Yeah, it was pretty neat. So, part of the joy of this business is being able to meet people and remember the stories as they actually happened, not as they're re-sanitized as being ready to, as they become sanitized and changed as time goes on. So that's just a little story there. I could tell more stories, but we won't actually do that right now. All right, a lot going on down there in the State House. We're not really going to spend it tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll spend some time and do kind of a wrap up and see what is happening in the State House. There's so many bills that are moving forward. They've got the abortion bill with restrictions is moving forward. Safety bills, opioid settlement bills, parental solutions. There are all these kind of things that are moving back. So I don't know. It's kind of exciting to see all the things happening, but I sure hope they're not just throwing a lot of stuff up there and don't get anything accomplished. But what we do will be interesting, and I'll be ready tomorrow with more information. We'll spend some time talking about some of the bills. I hope to talk to some of our legislators and see if I can get some details on what actually is happening down there for tomorrow's show. All right, be a good day to do it. It'll be Thursday, and who knows, on Friday we may have somebody on the air with us on the morning show. This afternoon on the afternoon, Meet Me at the Diner show, we will be having We'll be having a food fight right here on WCRS. There you go. We'll be doing a food fight. It'll be the city council versus county council as they get ready to see who is going to provide the most food to help our local nonprofits, the Soup Kitchen, Greater Greenwood United Ministry, and the Food Bank will be the ones that will be the lucky ones. So I'm hoping it gets a little rowdy in here this afternoon when Mayor Brandon Smith brings his A game, and of course Robbie Templeton brings his A game, and the belt will be up for the weight belt on who's going to win will be talked about. They have just FYI, they have extended it to, I think, February 25th or 26th. Because of the weather, they were a little bit behind. They decided to extend it. All right. So what else have we got here for you this morning? One of the things I wanted to talk about, that they have new SNAP regulations. And I have talked to some of my contacts that are telling me that it has had a effect on what is happening with people calling in to get SNAP benefits. So, some of the things that have changed here: new federal work requirements for the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, SNAP, took effect in South Carolina on February 1st, broadening the group of people who need to meet work hour requirements to continue receiving benefit. The changes stem from the One Big Beautiful Bill signed into law on July 4th by President Donald Trump of 2025. According to the South Carolina Department of Social Services, more than 520,000 South Carolinians received SNAP benefits during the month of December of 2025. During nearly half of the recipients, 48% are under age 18, while about 1/4 are over age 50. Under the new rules, able-bodied adults without dependents, ages 18 to 64, must work or participate in work programs for at least 80 hours per month. That's 20 hours a week, roughly, to retain SNAP eligibility beyond 3 months in a 36-month period. The previous age limit was 54. They are now saying 64. Caregiver exemptions also got tighter. Adults with kids under 14 are still exempt. However, caregivers of children 14 to 17 are now subject to the time limit unless they qualify for another exemption. Other exemptions were eliminated, include those for veterans, people experiencing homelessness, and certain young adults who aged out of foster care. That means those groups must now meet the 80-hour-a-month requirement. The law also makes it harder for states to get waivers in areas with few jobs. Now only places where unemployment is above 10% can qualify. Right now, about 3% of SNAP recipients in South Carolina fall under the work requirements. DSS says with the higher age limit and fewer exemptions, that number is expected to climb. So, how is this going to impact our food banks? It's going to become harder. Harvest Hope Food Bank said that when SNAP becomes harder to access, they'll notice the impact right away. So our food banks will start seeing more impact. Harvest Hope is South Carolina's largest food bank, providing over 25 million meals across the Midlands, PD, and Upstate. For every one meal that Harvest Hope Food Bank provides, SNAP covers about 9. When SNAP benefits are cut, it puts strain on us, and we have over 300 plus agency partners, smaller food banks throughout the state of South Carolina that rely on us for the food. She said during previous SNAP disruptions, visit to their pantries jumped dramatically. So the only solution many people hear is go to your local food bank, she said. When the SNAP benefits crisis hit in November, we saw 35% more people accessing our emergency food. That was a big increase. So could be a problem for people. But on the flip side, getting out and doing something, if you qualify for able-bodied, and it's not just work, I believe it's volunteer work or go back to school. So some of our food banks, too, have requirements as to how often one can go to the food bank. With Harvest Hope, you can only go once every 30 days. To make their food supply last, they stress they can provide resource information, but they cannot go every day or once a week. So that's why the food fight is so important here in our community, to help stock up the food bank, the soup kitchen, and Greater Greenwood United Ministries that also helps with giving out food. In fact, they've started a new program at Greater Greenwood United Ministries. They are giving out bags of food from 9 to 11 on Friday mornings over there at Greater Greenwood United Ministry. So the only thing you have to do is show an ID, and they will give out food either for an individual or if you need it for a family. Quite lovely. Cup of tea. All right. So that's a couple of the things that I think are important to know about and to be aware of, that you need. If you have been depending on the SNAP benefits, you may have to be making some different choices on how you move things forward. So just FYI. There is a lot more out there. This is an interesting story that you may or may not be aware of, but they're making a new I don't know if it's going to be a law, but they're in the Senate. They're trying to make sure that the state and then the county that it affects will not have to pay huge fees while to run a special election. Every time we run a special election because somebody left for whatever reason, leaves an unexpired term, they have so much time period to go ahead and have an election so the people are representative. Well, on the end of last week, Senator Wes Clymer said this past Saturday, that he will resign effective November 2nd if a resolution that allows him to save taxpayers' money while ensuring his constituents don't lose representation becomes law. The York County Republicans' announcement on social media ended days of speculation over which legislator might resign under the terms of a resolution quietly introduced Tuesday in the Senate. That was last Tuesday. Its unanimous passage Thursday turned up the State House rumor mill over who planned to leave and why. There is so much speculation. I felt the honorable thing to do was put the cards on the table, Clymer told the South Carolina Gazette. Clymer, who's running for Congress, says he doesn't want his potential win in November to leave taxpayers footing the bill for a special election and leave the people of the Senate District 15 without a senator in the meantime. Under the proposal, if he turns in his resignation letter by March 1st, then the election to replace him will fall on the same calendar as all other elections for state and federal offices. State laws also allows for what's called irrevocable resignation. That means he could stay in office until the effective date, but he can't change his mind. The resignation would take effect no matter what happens in his bid to replace U.S. Representative Ralph Norman. The seat is open because Norman is running for governor. In Clymer's case, he would no longer be a state senator on November 2nd, the day before the general election. This irrevocable part is what allows the State Election Commission to proceed with an election to replace him in the state Senate. So that is another interesting point. You know, there are people that are running for office that can run for office and still maintain their job, and if they do not win, then they can keep their regular job. One such person is David Stumbo. David Stumbo is not, which is our South Carolina attorney, not attorney general, but state's attorney for our district. And he could, if he wins in November, as he is running for South Carolina's state's attorney, if he wins, then of course he would give up his office, which then would trigger an election. However, if he doesn't win, he can keep his job as the state's attorney for our district. So those are some of the interesting ins and outs of politics. In this case, it sounds like he has to resign. He has to claim by March 1st. Everybody that is running for office by, I think it is mid-March, has to be on the books. So this is coming up in March is going to be an interesting time to see who's really in and who's really not. So I just thought that quietly the Senate is doing these little things. I thought I'd make it loud so that they'd have to acknowledge that, yes, they're doing this. But this really is a good thing because it costs so much money to run an election. So Clymer has the ability to make that choice. I think there's a lot of people who say they're running, but officially all the paperwork has to be signed in March, and then we'll know officially who is running. Somebody could potentially drop out and not continue. They could have said they were running, so we'll see how that goes. All right. I'm Ann Eller. What else we got going on here this morning? Where is it? Nope, not that one. Here you go. February 11th. Today is National Latte Day. This is my day. I wanted to bring this up. Anybody wants to get me a gift card for a latte? I'll gladly take it. National Latte Day. It's also National Guitar Day. It's also National Make a Friend Day and National Shut-in Visitation Day and National Inventors Day. But it says National Latte Day celebrates the explosion of flavor of espresso and silky crema. Today's beverage holiday is dedicated to the smooth, creamy, and irresistible coffee classic. Yes, and I like them plain with 2% milk, in case anybody wants to know. All right, National Guitar Day. Let's see. This musical day honors one of the most iconic and versatile instruments in the world, the guitar. Whether you're a beginner slamming your first chords or a seasoned professional shredding on the stage, National Guitar Day is the perfect time to appreciate this instrument. Yes, it is. And what about National Make a Friend Day? You know, sometimes we get so stuck in our routines that we don't ever look about expanding our possibilities here. And I really think that is a shame, right? We should look at expanding our abilities to make friends, ask somebody else to have a cup of coffee, to do something. Go out on a limb and add an extra friend to your list. You never know who you might meet or who you might appreciate having a friendship with. So sometimes you go to meetings all the time and you see somebody in a meeting and you go, she looks like she has an interesting life. I need to go over and talk to her. You'd be surprised what happens when you do that. All right, it's National Shut-In Visitation Day. Serves as a reminder to bring some cheerful company to people who are unable to leave their homes. Visiting a person who is a shut-in makes a positive difference in that person's life. And I'm going to tell you that. That is so, so true. How many people do you have living, if you live in a neighborhood, living up the street that you never see them go out, they never go out, getting them a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and a cookie. If you're doing something for Valentine's Day, maybe you're making cookies for your, your local a group or a school group. Maybe you're doing something like that. Make sure that it never hurts just to go take a visit, even if you take and put a nice note, or if you got any silly Valentine cards, those ones that they used to do for the kids. Those used to be a lot of fun, didn't they? I know. Anyways, that might be something fun to do. And it's National Inventors Day. Honors inventors of the past, the creators of the present, and encourages the architects of the future. National Inventors Day. And it's also National Peppermint Patty Day. That was one of Jeff's favorite candies, peppermint patty. He always liked to have one of those, particularly if you'd had a particularly heavy meal. He'd say, we really need a peppermint patty, Ann. And he always loved, not the little ones, he always loved the York peppermint patties, the bigger ones, And I'd see him, and he will have picked up one of those and had them. So I just thought I'd mention that. There are always neat things out there happening. And remember this. This is one of my favorite quotes now. You're only given a little spark, and you must hold on to it. You're only given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it. This short but powerful quote by Robin Williams feels simple at first, yet it carries a deep message about life. It reminds us the small quirks, the strange ideas, and creative instincts we all have are not flaws, they are gifts. In a world that often pushes us to be practical, serious, and predictable, this quote gently encourages us to protect the playful, curious, and different part of ourselves. I just thought I'd mention that because I definitely think that this quote was written about me. At its core, it suggests that creativity and individuality are fragile. That spark of madness Robin Williams refers to is not chaos or irresponsibility. It is imagination, originality, humor, and emotional honesty. It's part of us that dares to think differently and feel deeply. So there you go. That's my story, and I am sticking to it. So do you have a favorite quote that we've read in the last few weeks? Some of these I think are really, really awesome. Really, really awesome. And I thought I would just share that with you here today. So as we move forward, there may be a few events that I'm going to just mention. Then we're going to finish up. So we got a really big day here. Yep, we do. We got all kinds of good stuff coming. Don't forget, coming up this afternoon is Mayor Brandon Smith and County Council Representative Robbie Templeton right here on WCRS. So I would love for you to tune in. That'll be going on 5 o'clock here this afternoon. So check that out. also want to remind you, coming up in April is the Road to Life. That's right. Did you know Tim Tebow is actually going to be here in Greenwood? It's going to be at Lander University. I throw that out there because I saw some of the posts and people were saying, is he just going to be on the big screen or is he really going to be here in Greenwood? No, he's really going to be here in Greenwood. And I am excited to be part of helping promote and getting the word out on that. So we'll have more details about that. This, of course, is Crossroads Women's Center is the charity that will be benefiting from this fundraiser. So it's really going to be huge. Many of you remember a few months ago, we had Marty Brown on the air with us on a Saturday morning. He came in and we sat down and we talked to him. We had a great conversation. He is the one who wrote To the Moon that George Strait has had great success with. That's one of his latest things. He's done a lot of things. He was America's American Idol contestant who went all the way with American Idol. Well, his son, Christian Brown, has just gotten the golden ticket to move forward with American Idol 2026. That's pretty cool. He'd been hinting that Marty Brown, had been hinting that his son was going to be part of that, and now the reality has happened. So if you follow American Idol, you may know that yes, they are moving forward with that. All right, couple other things, we've got all kinds of things happening for Valentine's Day on Saturday. Just don't forget, on February 13th and 14th at Chick-fil-A, you can get some mini 10-count minis, 10-count strips, 30 nuggets, 6-count cookies, and a small brownie tray, all, I guess, for your heart-shaped sweetie. A lot of these things, they do want you, if you're going to have a big order, they would like for you to turn that in today, tomorrow, I think, are the days. So if you're going to do something from Chick-fil-A for your sweetie, make sure you do it. So, Eggs Up Grill has an interesting post here today on Facebook. They've got heart-shaped potatoes. And these are just regular potatoes out of the ground. I'm sure this must be AI. But anyways, it is kind of cool. It says, this Valentine's Day, celebrate with breakfast that's full of heart. Eggs Up Grill's home fries are perfect for sharing. That's right. So that's pretty cool. Not sure if they have something special going on there, but that is a good way to start the day. Let's see. We got a couple other things that I want to share with you, and then we're going to give it up for today. Don't forget, this afternoon, right here, we'll have Mayor Brandon Smith, and we will have Councilman Robbie Templeton battling for the food fight. Who will get that can of corn? By the way, did they ever find the can of corn trophy? It was missing, last thing I knew, but maybe they have found it, maybe they haven't, but that's always good. And now Robbie added a big weight belt, the big belt that boxers always end up with. They've added that. So let's see. What else do we have going on? Don't forget to register for the ice cream cake. I tell you what, we've had a good number sign up, but you could end up with a blizzard, a small blizzard, if you're one of the runner-ups on this. So please make sure you go ahead and do that. And don't miss my picture with the gorgeous and one and only Princess Penny on our Valentine's love songs and dedications. If you want to sign up for that, I'd love to have you because we're going to be having a great Valentine's Day show, and you can dedicate a song to the one you love. So go to 864-332-9355, 864-332-9355. That one would be a fun one to be part of on Saturday morning. I thought this was very interesting. South Carolina has opened a Hurricane Helene housing recovery office, is now open right here in Greenwood. 104 Maxwell Avenue, Suite 402, right here in Greenwood. You can apply for assistance. The South Carolina Office of Resiliency is pleased to announce the opening of 3 South Carolina Hurricane Helene housing recovery programs. They have one in Greenville, one in Aiken, and one right here in Greenwood. Currently, all offices are open to the public for drop-in appointments Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturdays from 9 to 12 to apply for a housing recovery assistance for damage caused by Hurricane Helene. So that again in Greenwood, 104 Maxwell Avenue, Suite 402. So they'll be taking applications. It is really great that our Office of Resiliency is doing so much to help our community. So that's another one. Out there at the Humane Society, they will be having yoga this Saturday. I believe it's $10. Don't remember the time. It's either, I think it's 10 to 11, but you can check with the Humane Society. They would like you to register. But it's puppy yoga. That's right. Puppies and yoga. What could be better? Yes. And then also, if you're considering adding a loved one to your family or considering buying a love pet for your sweetie, adult dog and cats are only $14, while puppies and kittens are $50. And of course, the difference is puppies and kittens need to have so many more shots, and then I think I'm not sure what all it includes, but you've got to get them neutered or spayed. I think they do a microchip. I don't have all the details here, but it costs so much more to take on a puppy or a kitten, and I can attest to that. So this is an adoption special. It'll be going on through Saturday. They want you to visit them at 2820 Airport Road right here in Greenwood, and they are full of great pets for you, so make sure you check that out. We've talked about the city versus the county food drive. That is going on. And also this week is National Bus Driver Appreciation Week. And to all the bus drivers out there, please understand what a stressful job they have, how good they do that job, and also how underpaid they are for doing that job. So thank you for helping us make sure that our bus drivers are transporting the kiddos to, from, in all kinds of weather. They are there and doing a great job, and we appreciate them very, very much. All right, so that's just, I wanted to mention this one. I was so impressed. Did you know, a Grammy win for USC. Did you know that USC bassoon professor Michael Harley and his ensemble, Alarm Will Sound, won the Best Chamber Music Small Ensemble Performance at the 68th Grammy Awards? I didn't. That is tremendous. That's USC bassoon professor Michael Harley and his ensemble, Alarm Will Sound, won Best Chamber Music Small Ensemble Performance at the 68th Grammy Awards. Kudos to them. Kudos to them. So, that's a little bit about what I have for you here today. I am going to say adieu. Penny is sitting here patiently saying, okay, wind it up. It's time for my breakfast. That's right. That's right. That's right. Check out Chick-fil-A. They've got all kinds of good things. They've got one simple gift, a gift basket. Well, I've got baskets over there. If you'd like to get that, you have, I don't know whether they're sold out or not, but that was another thing that was happening right there. So, and this is something else we need to mention. This is New Jerusalem Baptist Church, 125 River Street in Belton, South Carolina. They have a clothes closet, and they will be giving out clothes. It will be open 11 to 2. The next time it will be open is February 20th and 21st from 11 to 2. Free clothes, no limit. And if you'd like to make a donation, they have a number to call, 864-318-0114. If you look, and they're also, of course, are looking for people to be part of their church. That is over in Belton, South Carolina. New Jerusalem Baptist Church, 125 River Street in Belton. So that is pretty cool that they have clothing available. And if you'd like to make a donation, again, 864-318-0114. Clothing is available for anyone in need. Donations of clothes and household items are also welcome. That, my friends, is going to do it for me. Penny says, let's have breakfast. I say, you are absolutely right. Don't forget to sign up. Time is running out. Time is running out. Boop, boop. We're giving away that ice cream cake on Saturday morning at around 11:30. Go ahead and sign up. You'll be glad you did. Hey, get out there and enjoy this world. Be happy. Send me a dedication for someone you love. Could be somebody that's no longer with you. That you'd like to remember too. Don't forget that. Love to hear from you. 864-332-9355. That's 864-332-9355. Stay tuned right here on WCRS. Live updates and whatnot will be coming in all day long on all our programming about Nancy Guthrie, and hopefully that we can resolve this case and that Nancy Guthrie will be reunited with her family and that she is still alive. Have a great one, everybody. Thanks for tuning in right here on WCRS. Bye-bye, everybody. That is going to do it for me. And Penny goes, it is about time. Do you think I like staying here all day long? All right, Penny, let's take it away.
And now, it's time for...
Let's not use that one because it's not time. It is time for Ann to say goodbye.